So Neve Campbell might be returning for Scream 7. Let's talk about it.
I like scary.
What's up, I Like Scary? We are back. I hope y'all are having an awesome day. I'm having an awesome day. It feels great to be a horror fan. So you all, today I want to talk about some Scream 7 news, that's related to some stuff with Neve Campbell returning back as Sidney Prescott. I'm super excited to talk about this. But before we get started, definitely smash the like button because it definitely helps. So, to get started, you all, we've been hearing rumors in the community about Neve Campbell possibly returning to Scream 7 as the character Sidney Prescott. You guys know we love Sidney Prescott, and so from my knowledge and what I've been hearing, basically we heard that Neve Campbell was at a Denver fan expo, and she kind of told someone basically that she cannot talk about Scream 7. She cannot talk about it, due to the writer's strike and everything. She cannot talk about it. But with Scream 6, it's kind of same thing happened at a convention, and she just said, I'm not with Scream 6. I'm not doing it. I'm not connected to that project immediately. So that is a clue right there with her not even just rejecting it immediately. She's just like, I can't talk about it right now, but maybe after this strike. Basically, that's the vibes that I'm getting. She didn't shoot it down. She just kind of brushed it off because she can't talk about it. Now, something else that we've heard, and I got to give credit to a good friend of the community, Craven Something Scary. My guy Craven, he was the one that kind of released the info with Christopher Landon being on the project and Radio Silence, kind of pulling away. He had, a credible source, and now he also said, and definitely check out his video about, he's heard from that same source that Sidney Prescott actually could have possibly signed on. Now take this with a grain of salt, you guys. But my guy Craven, he's very, credible and trusted, and thinking his source is very trusted also. But basically saying that from that same source that Neve had signed on, but it was like during a writer's strike, possibly. So we don't know what could happen. We could have happened between that, but it was a plan. It was planned for her to sign on before the strike happened and everything. And that's what I've heard the community. And so to talk about that, I think that Sidney Prescott's character will come back to Scream 7. I think Neve will return just because, like I said, man, everything is starting to fall in place the same way as that Radio Silence rumor is starting to creep up slowly. And I think one of these days, one of these weeks, we'll get a big boom saying that she has returned. But only thing that's holding us back is this writer strike. As you guys know, that's been going on. There's been a lot of stuff with that, but from my knowledge, that's what we've heard. That's before the writer strike, they were kind of talking about Sidney's role, and if she was stepping forward, foot in the door, about returning back to Scream 7. Now, shout out to those sources and everything, but man, I cannot wait. You guys know I'm a big Sidney Prescott fan. You gotta love Neve Campbell, and she's returning back to Scream 7 for what it seems like. She's going to be coming back, and yeah, man, I know a lot of people are like, no, we don't need Sidney. Just stick with the Carpenter sisters, and that's cool. I like Sam and Jenna, but man, I just can't wait to see Sidney back after the chaos that happened in Scream 6. Now, how could she come back? How would it happen? Personally, I've been saying this with Gail basically, on her deathbed after what happened in Scream 6, kind of recovering. Pretty sure that Sidney's going to come check on her friend, right? You guys think, she kind of stepped out in Scream 6 to take care of life, not bother with it. But I think with Gail being injured and everything, I think that Sydney will come back just due to that. And I think that's how she's going to connect with the Carpenter sisters a little bit and stuff like that. Maybe, who knows, maybe she goes back her separate ways after she checks on Gail. But that's when Ghostface gets eyes on Sydney and it all becomes one big story. Either way, I feel it's going to be something with Gail Weathers. I think it could be something where Sydney actually steps back, out of, this Carpenter story, but Ghostface comes back, and this is like the time Sydney's like, man, fuck this, I'm going back. I don't want nothing to happen to Gail like it happened to Dewey. I'm going back. I have to. Maybe she even has a back and forth where, someone's telling her, no, don't go back, and she still does it. And yeah, I think that I can see Sydney and Sam next to each other. I see like a new generation Sydney Prescott and Sam, but just with a twist. And I could just see them next to each other. And I definitely think someone's going to die if Sydney comes back. I don't know why. I just feel like a main character will have to die with Sydney Prescott coming back. You can't just be stacked like that, if that makes sense. So, yeah, possibly, I'll even, go far with it. Maybe Gail gets killed, and that brings, Sydney back. Maybe Gail's like the opening kills, like a time jump with her healed. Who knows? There's so many ways you can incorporate Sydney being back. Or maybe Ghostface attempts to kill Sydney as the opening kill, something new, something different, but she gets away, and that's how she's like, fuck this, he's coming to my home, he's found me, I have to settle this, It could be something like that, so many ways, Definitely, I think Gail being injured will bring Sydney Prescott back. I don't know about the Carpenter story because she doesn't know them too much. I mean, she knows them because they dealt with it in Scream 5, but I don't think, as you see, Scream 6 was the Carpenter story. She didn't come back for that, so, that's your answer right there. But with Gail, stuff that happened to Dewey, or if Ghostface comes knocking at her front door, I think that basically, that will be the case. I think that's when Ghostface actually will be introduced to Sydney, and then the story comes, blossoming in front of our face, and I think it could be something like that. It would be crazy, though, if they kind of try to do the little Jenna Ortega stuff they did in Scream 5, where she was technically the opening kill, but she survived, but this time it happens to Sydney, and then Sydney's like paranoid because she's never the opening kill. She's never the one that starts off with, like brutally, like how Casey Becker was, but this time it's Sydney. So I feel like, and then the story kicks up. It can be something like that. So yeah, guys, comment down below what you all think about what I just talked to you guys about. But unfortunately, this is the end of the video. I want you guys to hit me up on my social media. ILIKESCARY on Instagram, ILIKESCARY _ on TikTok, Brandon on Facebook, ILIKESCARY on Twitter, and right there where it says join, definitely think about clicking join and become a member of Patreon. And yeah, you all, I want you guys to watch some horror movies. Stay scary out there. I love you all. Peace.